My little hopper friend.
All right, buddy. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to Jobe's Hometown. Yeah, back in the shop. I kind of we'll do things. We'll stage things a little different here because I kind of feel like I should explain a bit of this to you guys and tell you kind of what's really going on. Because yeah, I got it totally together, got it totally finished. Then I took it apart again because there was more changes, and I'm so glad I did now. I was hesitant at first, like, man, do I really want to take it apart and not be able to get it back together, like, without wasting a bunch of time? Not trying to waste time. But yeah, it's going to be good. Let me show you guys. So, first off, sheet metal. We now have firewall on both sides. Body work is all finished. Got us a seat back here. Got us a footrest. Might get a little padding on here. Padding installed. My booty cushion. All good down here. Oh, with some stick of drift for life. Yeah, I love some drift cars. But we should probably start here, and it's because of this. Yeah. Transmission with reverse, guys. Click this baby. We have reverse. And that's first place I had to start was, yeah, right there, because we need a shifter. So I had to figure out where that was going to go first, if I even had enough room. Yeah. Belt drive had to totally come off. Totally off of there, which is all good. The belt drive doesn't do anything except for come back and hold the driven pulley. That's all the plate does. The plate really just holds the driven pulley so that the chain can come back off of the mount. And yeah, I have a new mount down there, which is going to be for that. This mount came with this kit, but I changed it up a bit. This was originally on the bottom of that mount. I totally cut it off and welded that mount with some other ears, because you guys can see the mount holes. There's two on the bottom and there's one up here. And it should be facing directly up like that. You can see the arrow right there. Little arrow. In mine, it's going to be just about like that. Actually, just about like that. So it's almost going to be pointing up, but it's not going to be totally. And it's not going to be... It'll be facing up more than that, so it should be totally good, because we have a vent tube here which needs to be on the top, which it will be on the top, so that's going to be great. And right now I just need to finish getting this bracketry welded together and get my chain trimmed up, because my chain is going to come up and come to the back. But on the belt drive, let me see if I can find, I just had it sitting here to measure. Let me show you guys this real quick. Where'd my tape measure go? Tape measure that I lost. Here it is, way over here. Okay, so where we're going to start is right here. That's where you need to start, is to measure this. And mine is almost exactly 6.5 inches. From the center line of the crankshaft to the center line of the belt pulley, of the drive pulley to the driven pulley. Center line back here is 6.5 inches. So, yeah, we're good there. And then where I needed to be over here, since the plate is now gone, we need this transmission. We need that. The driven pulley needs to be 6.5 inches back. So right now, I have the mount tacked on there. I had everything kind of lined up. I think it's going to work out really good, but I need to get it all hard welded and test it. But you can see we're at 6.5 inches. So, and now you can see why I had to make room for my pedals, because yeah, we're going to have a transmission sitting right here coming up to a shifter, so we can be able to put it in neutral, move it around real easy, and then be able to put it in reverse or drive, back it out the shop, click it and drive, and take off rolling. Yeah, all right, let's get some welding going. Hopefully not a bunch of welding, because yeah, I'm tired of welding too. Here we go, guys. Let's get this done. Okay, bracket is all welded in, looking great, and our chain is going to line up perfect. Just need to now, since the gear moved back a little bit, the gear on the transmission is back, so I actually need to shorten the chain a little bit. You can see here, the drive comes in here, and the gear is here, so that the chain actually is going to get a bit shorter. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to get new chains or what I was going to have to do, but it's actually going to be shorter, so I can use my chain kit. That's the riveting kit is how you push them apart, so you can push apart the individual links. And what I wanted to show you guys first, the first unknown was right here. I'm sure I told you guys I wanted to be able to use my bigger gear. Yeah, that's a 14 tooth. The original, you know, had to measure that. This was my center line to be able to measure my crankshaft, 6.5 inches. And I got the rest of my goodies kind of stacked on this one down here, because this is kind of my belt drive box now. But you can see that's the 11 tooth. It was much smaller. Or 10 tooth. That's a 10 tooth. And now with the 14 on there, if you guys can see, I had to do a little clearance in right here. Just a little bit. Not much. And really, the gear fit on there. But I had to get just a little bit of room for the link. See if I can spin this here. Whoop, without it falling over. It clears now. Link goes through there, no problem. And let me show you guys here. So I think that the shaft, yeah, okay, the shaft is moving now. So I think it's in first gear. Move that one. Now we're in neutral. One more. Let me line it up here. There we go. Now we're in reverse. See, I'm spinning the gear this way. This shaft is coming back. Let me redo that again. Here you go. That's reverse. Back to neutral. Spin a little bit. Put it in drive. Now you can see I'm spinning it forward, and that goes forward. So yeah, that's working great. Awesome. I cannot wait to have reverse. I can sit down, put my shifter in reverse, back up. It's going to be awesome. Let me get some of this coffee. So, once again, too, this was the bottom of the mount that they gave me with the kit. I cut this off and I welded that mount down here to my plate, If you can see, it's welded to my engine plate. It's not welded to my frame. The frame is bolted to my, or the plate is bolted to my frame, and now the mount is welded to the plate. So the transmission and engine is all one unit on that plate there. And this was the other unknown was here. It's a Vevor clutch, or a Vevor transmission. And this is a Vevor drive clutch. Driven clutch. You know, it's my used up driven clutch. It's been on here. It's been on here. This thing's been all over the place. And I wasn't sure if that was going to fit in here with the keyway. No problem. The keyway lines up 100%. The keyway is actually down here when we put it all together. I was amazed that just slid right on there. So, let me slide this back off here. Okay. If you guys have a 30 series clutch, they slide right on these transmissions. So good. And you can use the stock gear that's on here. I just want to be able to gear it up just a little bit because I have lots of power with this turbo motor, so I can use the extra gearing and we can roll out and go fast. It's going to be good. And since I was thinking too, since here's kind of my next welding venture, of course, there's always something to weld on. Once again, get you a cheap welder so you can tack this stuff together. It makes these jobs so much easier. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm really just kind of tacking stuff. That plate I welded in a little harder because it's welded. It's 1/4 inch steel on a plate welded to 3/16 on that bracket. So yeah, I got to weld that in a little harder. But the smaller stuff, you just got to tack it and kind of burn it together, and it's good. But what this bracket here is going to do, I'm using the 2 mounts on the bottom. I'm using those 2 holes for my bracket down there, and I have this one up here. And get this. This will come in over here. This will go right here. So that bracket will go right there. And then this tube will get welded to that bracket. And this tube will be my upper mount that will come forward and bolt on right here to my original belt drive mount. So I'll use this bolt hole. It'll have a truss rod that'll come back to hold the top of the transmission because we're supporting it on the bottom. You know, because the belt drive plate would support it all the way back. Now we're going to support it hardcore on the bottom and the top, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be solid. It's going to be strong enough, and it ain't going to move because that bottom is really strong, and it's going to be a tubing truss top. So, yeah, it's going to be strong enough. We're going to be good. Just need to get this tacked together here, and we're going to be able to bolt this baby back in place. Here we go. Okay, yet another big push. Push, grind, well, go! But, yeah, it's awesome. Got the chain all trimmed up now. And, let me get down here a little closer for you. Now, chain all trimmed up, chain fitting perfect. And it's actually lined up exactly where it was before. I was kind of wondering if it was going to move over, you know, hit my metal. I got plenty of room here now. So, yeah, that's all good. It ended up, it's about the exact same spot. It's moved back, but it's, you know, but it's in the same relationship as far as, you know, the angle. So, that's all good. And yeah, with our key in here, slide our washer back, put our key in there. Oh, see, I heard something there. Oh, that's my chain link. That's the pin I pushed out with my chain press set. And now that slides in back here, goes on right there. Make sure our keyway is pointed up. There we go, because that's in there. And that's all good. Yeah, lines up great. And just slide it off so you guys can see here once again with the chain back here. Plenty of clearance. No problem at all. Just a little bit of grinding in there and I was able to get the 14 tooth on there. Muy bueno taco time. That makes me real happy. I didn't want to change the 14 tooth. The 14 tooth with this rear end setup, the gearing is good now. So, yeah. And we just need to get all this bolted back together. Let me just get this back on here real quick. Whoop. There we go. There we go. And this can go on here. Like that. And then this was, I wanted to be able to do this just to be able to test. Because I know I've taken the belt on and off several times with the plate set up. So I know the tension. And roll it on there. And it pops on. That's exactly like it was before, so I know our distance has got to be very close to being exactly what it was. And we can now see because it's lined up. Let me get this lined up. Exactly 6.5 inches. Sorry, I'm not holding the tape measure perfect, but it's exactly 6.5 inches. So, yeah, that's going to work out great. I'm loving this. And yeah, up here I went ahead and got our truss rod put in there. That's all in. And yeah, I went ahead and had to burn it in with the TIG because down here at my Ironton MIG, I burned on my wire. Of course, I burned on my wire trying to burn in my transmission mount. And actually, I almost need to put a little more over there, but I'll get some more wire and I can get to it where it's at without taking anything apart. So I just get a little more burning over there. It'll be good. So yeah, I went ahead and put a TIG weld here. So that rod is nice and strong now. And you know, it's bolted in there. That clears my clutch back here. And I can even move this to adjust it and put a spacer in back here to slide this over if I need to. But I think it's going to line up perfect. And really what you want to line up is these two back edges need to line up 100% perfect. That needs to line up. The back edge of this belt is flat. This edge is tapered. So this one, the back edge of the drive pulley and the back edge of the driven pulley need to line up 100%, which it does. That's awesome. And just to show you guys up here, the mount on the bottom that I cut off, here it is, that I cut off this piece. This is the mount here on the original setup. You can see how that's how it kind of bolts on the top. It's made to bolt on the top, and I think that this is actually an adjustment so that you could adjust on their setup, you kind of had to adjust it. On mine, we don't need any adjustment. It's good to go. So, but you can see that's the original mount right here. If I can, and I cut the bolt off, and I welded the plate on my mount, on my plate here. So my engine plate and my transmission mount plate are all now one piece. That's good to go. And this is my chain set to be able to bust chains apart. And let me just give you guys a little bit of an insight here, because I'm not sure how many of you guys know exactly how to put one of these together and do it. So this is how you cut a chain. One sec here. Okay, so just a quick 1, 2, 3 here. It comes like this. This is the piece. It's an MGO chain brake. That piece goes in there. This is your handle to be able to hold it, so you can hold on to it. This is your main adjuster here. First thing that goes in, your spring goes on your this needs to fit in here. That's going to push the pin through. You can see they're the exact same size, or this is a slightly smaller than the pin. The spring goes on here like that. Then this goes in. And you guys can see how it pushes through. And the spring pushes it back. The spring retracts it. So that goes in. And I was just pushing on it with the lever. But this is actually the screw-in pusher. You can see it pushing it out now. And you want to recess it just a little bit like that, so that the end of the chain can line up in there. So I'm going to line it up. There's a hole here too. So you want it to line up in this hole, just like that. Then you bring this one in, line it up right there. Okay, that's lined up. That's all lined up. And this is why you need the handles. This is a handle too. And I want to pop these two end links off. So now we're going to go ahead and crank it down. There it goes. It was getting tough there. It gets tough for a second, and then it eases up. Tough again, and then it's easy. Gets tough when it has to push it through. And then right there is our pin. Without destroying our chain. Chain is all good. Now I can retract the pusher. Like that. And then retract the holder. Like that. And then retract the pusher some more, because it's in our holder here. That piece can come on. Now our chain can come off. Now our chain is good. Just our link ready to slide the master link onto. Slide on the master link. Slide on the opposite side of the master link. Get your clip before it flies away. Slide that on there. Then I used pliers just from the back here. Clip it together just like that. Good to go. Okay, and then the last thing that I have to remind myself every time, because I'm about one of the worst about putting stuff away. I'm sure, as you guys can see, the place is tiny, it's hard. Put everything back in the box, reassemble all your parts, put them back in the box. They all have to be here to be able to use this set. You know, if you have a pushmaster link, you need this whole set. Otherwise, you know, put all your parts back in your box, Benjamin. And yeah, it's a good MGO set. So yeah, if you need one, that's what it is right there, guys. Those things are awesome. And yeah, they're not sponsoring me. I'm just trying to help you guys out a little bit. And I kind of also, too, had noticed that clutch, the drive clutch, works great. The driven clutch, I could tell that the spring lets go a bit easy because it's used, and that spring is way old, and I'm kind of surprised it's held up as good as it has, but it works great, so whatever. But OMB, I was looking on their website doing some digging, and they make some parts to make those belt drives a bit stronger for heavier stuff. Really for the Comet drive stuff, for the Comet, I'm not sure, the Tao go-karts, I'm not even sure what they're really even called, but the go-karts for this transmission, it's actually mounted below, I think it's below the engine, and then the drive comes down to the rear axle on those go-karts, and they have kind of a swing arm deal, that whole deal was mounted on the swing arm, I think. I've worked on a couple in the past, but I don't really remember, sorry. but I knew they had parts for them. That is a Comet yellow spring that I cannot wait to install because I can tell, oh, it's way stronger. It's easy at first, and then it gets real strong. That's going to work out great. So, right now it's back together with the red spring. Right now it has the factory red spring in there. So, I know that that's going to work great, and it's working fine right now. If I want to have a little more torque off the launch, we can put the Comet yellow spring in, and yeah, it might have a little more torque. I'm trying to be easy on my chain drive. My chain drive on my rear end, this is all testing. I'm not sure if it'll all stand up. I've tested it pretty hardcore, and I've kind of beat on it, and yeah, it's good. So now we got a yellow spring. But over here, last thing we got to do is for our shifter. Shifter's mounted up here, so we can boop, boop. It's got, this is drive here, or you guys, I guess you can see right there on the end of the shifter maybe. Drive, neutral, reverse. So drive's over here, neutral's in the middle, reverse is over here. And we can still get to our gas cap, still get to our drink holder. And now my drink holder, where did I put it? Oh, it's down here. I had it sitting down there because I was doing stuff. Yeah, that's my sound system. So now my drink holder, I think it's going to be my sound system holder, so we can ride with some bumps. Boom, 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 boom. I like to have things bumping. That's how I roll. But yeah, last thing we got to do is just get this shifter on down here. Get these cables in the deal there. Get in the round deal. And then the shifter bolts on right here on, if I put it the right way. There we go. Bolts on the side of the transmission just like that. So let's get that on there. I can already tell I need to put some more gas in this tank. I am so ready to go for a cruise. I cannot believe reverse is working so good. Now it has neutral. I can rev it up, I can rev it to the moon. Awesome. Everything. Lines up, working great. Shifter up here on top. Sorry about my shadow there. It's in neutral right now. This is one of the best parts. It moves super easy with it in neutral now because I'm not trying to spin the whole belt drive. I don't have to take the belt off. The belt can stay on there and it moves super easy. I was thinking about that, but I hadn't really factored it into the whole equation. But it's awesome now. And with the key switch, I can turn it off. I almost am thinking about, you know, moving the pull start back again. I kind of like it up here so it's all just nice and compact, but it would be nice to be able to sit and turn it off and then pull it again. And it should be nice to have an electric start motor on here with a battery, but I don't want no battery, so that's okay. So I don't mind the electric start or the pull start. I'll get out and pull my rope one time. It's okay because it is. I have it tuned now. It's one pull, so it's my lawnmower powered T-bucket. That's an old lawnmower engine, guys. Or lawn equipment engine of some sort, and now it has a Vevor transmission. Transmission is from Vevor, and I was hesitant, you know, on the whole equation because I wasn't sure, you know, of the whole everything. But the one thing I really had to make sure of was up here, my vent. My vent is right here, has a tube on it, so that's good to go. And this is my fill, which can't even get off there. Should get some pliers. Luckily it's on there tight, and it is full. I checked it and I put it back on there, so it's tight. But I kind of like it now too, because now we can see my billet side plate, which, you know, the belt drive kind of covered up on my billet goodies. And I think I'm going to paint this bar here and get that all shined up. Maybe paint that with some silver like the front end. Yeah. Okay, I need to go get back to work because I got lots to do today, and I owe everybody a big hug. Or not everybody, the moms. Yeah, the big shout out. Today's Mother's Day, and go give your mom a big old hug if you can't. I'm wishing my mom a big old hug, my dad too, because I miss them both a lot. Mom, I love you and I miss you every day. Wish I could give you a big hug right now. I'm gonna hug your face. I love you, Mom. Miss you. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are who encouraged really all of this. I doubt that I would put this much work into this, but I can because you guys seem to like it, and I'm loving it too. And all the wonderful comments are what really is, it's what's keeping me going. It's why I can get out here and just grind and push for hours and get this done. And oh, I'm so glad I did. Once again. And now with my sound system, wish I could crank on my sound system for you guys so you could hear it. Have my little sound system jamming over here. Yep. And next, it's going to the Sonic Cruise In. If you guys check out the prior vids from last year at the Sonic over there in Kirkwood, we do a cruise in car show about every week on Fridays. If you guys got a badass hot rod or something sweet or just something cool you want us to see, bring it by on Friday. Check it out. Get you a cheeseburger, get you a slushie. It's an awesome time, I promise. And more than likely, I'll be there with the camera on, so watch out. You might be on camera. Your car might be, your bike might be, your T-bucket might be too. Now I got a turbo T-bucket to go roam the parking lots. We're gonna roll them around, shoot some vid, check out some cars. Way more to come, guys, as I always say, because it's done now. We are so ready to go cruise some Lindbergh. Oh, can't wait. Let's just see here real quick. Let's just see. Let me just see. Key on. We try and hold it here. I'm gonna pull it real easy. That's a camera pull start. Thanks, guys. Way more to come. I'm gonna go cruise my ride. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. When in doubt, figure it out and then go for a cruise. It's lots of fun. Especially with reversing the turbo.